Alright, time to go fishing once again. Has again been a little while since have been fishing, so it is time to see what we can or can't catch, which tends to be the theme that you buy equipment and then wonder that you still can't catch anything out of the ocean, especially, which seems to be somewhat demanding fishery comparatively. So let's start for some maybe fly fishing at the starting lake even first, so we actually might get something and see how good fish we can catch there. It's a nice fishery, even the starting lake would say. So we should certainly do a bit of fly fishing there first and see how that goes for us. So it has mostly different trout, so that affects our selection of a fly. It's a very nice lake with the mountain scenery also. Alright, and then we are loaded, so let's change to fly fishing. There we go, and check which fly we have in place. Trout. This should work for trout, so looks good, and we of course can also look closer at it, and it actually is pretty nice looking with the kind of feathers and overall body, so it actually looks quite a bit like an insect, so I think that the fish would also like to try and go for that, so let's hope the fish are interested in our trick for them. Let's see the overall map of the lake. So most probably would try from point 1. Here we are, so lengthwise by the lake. Let's see how this works for fly. And a good straight cast, and then we start. It's raining a bit. Let's see how that affects the interest from the fish. With the fly fishing, the rhythm is very important to move the fly in a convincing manner by the water, so it's very much keep the rhythm or tenante rhythmon. Alright, and we have a customer, and it's actually putting up a bit of a fight, so this should be interesting. Actually, it's fighting pretty well, so already got like 25 meters away after starting at less distance. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting fish. It's really struggling. So this is a proper fight and not only like reel the fish in. Alright, now we are getting a bit of perches on the fish, but still it's not giving up easy. So this is going to be a pretty big rainbow trout or other nice fish. Yes, brook trout. Really nice fish with the coloring and the spots and everything. And it's actually almost 4 kilograms. New record for brook trout. $61, not bad at all for the first fish tonight. So certainly a keeper. Really nice fish. Good result with the fly. So that certainly was a nice start. New record, brook trout. So no complaints at all for that, certainly. And we do also have a viewer. So greetings and welcome to the stream. Always nice to have some join us. So let's do some more with the fly from this position and see if we catch more as good fish as the previous. Nice straight cast, so we can start from that, certainly. Right, and we again do have an interested customer, and this isn't either very small, it's actually pulling away. Yeah, this is going to also take some effort to get in. Fighting the fish is rather interesting also. Alright, bull trout. 2.6 kilograms. Very nice looking fish also. $41. Not bad at all, and it's pretty nice fish overall. So let's still stay in this position. Certainly the fly and the position are working well enough despite the rain. So let's keep casting out. So let's see how it works out this time. Right, and there's some interest again. Very good spot and rather good fly, clearly, as we have got a few. This isn't quite as large as we can reel it in directly. Pumpkin seed, alright. Half a kilogram, that's actually pretty big as far as they go. Half a kilogram pumpkin seed, like $9. Kind of unwilling to even keep that, so there it goes back to the lake. Kind of always like the pumpkin seed is somewhat less desirable catch overall value wise, certainly. Right, let's try a few casts more in this and then consider changing the fishery maybe. Right, no catch this time. So let's keep going at least. A few casts more. Right, that was a nice long cast, almost 50 meters. Nice long, pretty straight cast, always nice. Right, nothing this time either. So let's try a couple of times more here and then change fishery. We got pretty good fish here, so not a bad start at all. Alright, let's keep pulling the fly in. Right, not much caught yet. These couple of last throws. Let's cast out once more. Then change fishery most probably. Alright, getting close. There we go. And then most probably change fishery and or consider what to do next. Couple of good catches. Could try the other end of the lake maybe for a while, so let's move there and still experiment some with the fly fishing on this lake. Cast from here this time. So let's cast a few fly fishing casts also from this end of the lake next, as the fly doesn't wear out exactly, so it's quite easy mode of fishing in that respect, mostly keeping the right rhythm and otherwise keeping it together, but it's pretty easy mode of fishing. It doesn't require like $10 a piece bait if you were using premium bait or such. Rather, it's mostly like single purchase of different flies for different conditions. And alright, immediately change location and we get a customer. So alright, and this also is putting up a bit of a fight, actually pulling away at quite a good clip, so will be interesting. This isn't either giving up without a fight. Yeah, still trying to draw away, so this will be an interesting fish, how big it will be. Right. Oh, that's a pretty big fish. 6.36 kilogram bull trout. Really nice. Nice big fish. And it's almost $100, so that's really good catch. Certainly a keeper. Oh, hello raiders. Thank you for the raid, Arcanoid Addict. Thank you. You're all welcome. This one is Isolectra and we are playing Ultimate Fishing Simulator, doing some nice fly fishing on the starting lake, and moved position once to get better maybe fishing here, try the other end of the lake, and let's do a few more casts here and then change fishery. The fly fishing is very nice in this game. You have to have the right rhythm to move the fly in a convincing fashion on top of the lake, so it's also somewhat realistic that you actually have to pull the fly in the more or less correct rhythm to have it moving along and have possibility of enticing the fish to strike, which happened now. Nice. And this is actually also probably a pretty big fish, as it's actually drawing away at the good clip, and we are not getting too much purchase on it yet. Tension wise, it's practically pretty much drawing away. So let's see if we can reel the fish in. Alright, we are getting a bit closer with the fish, but it's still like trying to fight quite a bit. So let's keep trying here. And of course, if you enjoy this kind of various fursuit gaming variety of games, especially this kind of somewhat unusual simulators, feel free to also follow. So welcome everyone, and hope you enjoy. And yes, very nice fish actually. Brown trout, very nice pattern, large fish, almost 8 kilograms. Not a new record for brown trout, but really nice fish still, and $118, so that's certainly a keeper. 117 experience also, so gradually building towards level 12. That's certainly a keeper. Over $100 fish. Really nice catch. Nice looking fish also. Ah, hello Priareos. You also of course get a wave. Welcome to the stream. How have you been doing, Priareos, lately? How has your weekend been this far? Been doing well hopefully. So let's cast at least a few times more, as we have been getting some really good fishing here. So we can also maybe buy more equipment for like the higher level fisheries like the ocean, because would like to actually catch like the famed big fish like marlin or such, but it requires quite expensive equipment and also high enough level to use live bait, which is pretty much the only thing that usually interests marlin apparently is live bait. Tried with some kind of like lure that was listed also for marlin once at the ocean, but pretty much nothing happened, so do think that live bait would be the best bet for marlin, so need to of course build up level, because it's like live bait requires something, do think level 12 or was it even 14, so in that respect it also is important to build up level by catching the smaller fish in other fisheries. Right, not much on that cast. Right, plastic related purchases, is that like, that's quite wide category, you know, like also Fursuit consists technically of very highly engineered plastic, so for example, would you be possibly purchasing a new fursuit, because that would also be plastic related in that sense, because also the fur is a highly engineered plastic. Alright, secret details. Then we wait for more to be revealed. Our mysterious bunny. Very good. Good to hear that you have been well otherwise. Let's cast for more fish. There we go. And start moving the fly, and let's hope for fish. Alright, and there we go. This is also a pretty strong fish, so a bit of a fight. Not a small fish either. Not one of the pumpkin seeds or such. This is also the genuine item, certainly at this level of tension, and still trying to pull away. Right, bull trout, almost 3 kilograms, so it's $44, 43 experience. Not a bad fish, and the bull trout is very elegant also model wise. It's a sleek, quite silvery fish. Do certainly like it. For $44, that's certainly a keeper. A bit rainy and misty on the lake, but the fly seems to work pretty well still. So let's try for more here still for a few casts, and then change fishery and the type of fishing. Always do like the fly fishing in this game, because it does model the kind of rhythm oriented nature of the real fly fishing to a degree. So it's one of the more fun modes of fishing in this game. There are all the typical modes of fishing, like with the lure or a bait, and with the float, so you can go like with the normal fishing float and use some type of bait, or you can use a lure. Like most modes of fishing are covered in the game. Alright, and we have a fish. Again, not the smallest fish. Fly fishing on the first lake is actually pretty good fishing compared to, for example, if you go to the Louisiana Bayou map and you try and typically you do not catch much anything. The first lake is surprisingly good, especially for fly fishing. Fly fishing tends to give mostly big fish here. We caught one of the like pumpkin seed also with the fly earlier on in the stream, but typically the fly fishing here gives pretty nice fish comparatively. For example, the river or the bayou are much more difficult. Oh, that's a pretty large bull trout. Again, very elegant fish, over 5.5 kilograms, so it's $87. That's very nice. Nice catch also. Also certainly pleased with that. So let's have a couple more casts here and then change fishery as we have been doing. Then about half an hour on this lake, so we can then move to different fishery and type of fishing for some time next. Nice straight cast, almost 50 meters, so strong good cast also. By the way, Arganoid Addict, if you are still here, did you already beat Sinch in the Dragon's Lair, as it seemed that Sinch was pretty tough, as it was like the single dragon breath hit is insta kill, so this one was like, that's a pretty tough boss fight. Did you already beat Sinch? As it's in general kind of not the most forgiving game, certainly the Dragon's Lair. Though it's pretty stylish game when you consider what it is. For impossible. Yeah, it's pretty close to, because it's like one hit and you die. And then Sinch takes like apparently quite a few hits, so it's more or less really hard fight. Also, the original arcade game was, of course, really hard. It's not like a walk in the park at all. Have gotten once to play the original Laserdisc-based arcade game, and it was like died in the second screen or such. It takes really precise timing and overall play. It's not really playable. In the normal sense, it's really difficult game also. Yeah, alright. 20 hits even with the axe is really, that's painfully much when you consider that he has the insta-kill at his disposal. Ouch. Can only say like ouch on that level. Alright, let's do one more cast here and then change fishery. A bit different towards the shore in this case. So let's see if any fish are on the way and interested. It's raining a bit and 27 degrees, so pretty warm by the lake, would say. All right. Again, a pretty good fish. It's fighting. To admit that especially with the daggers it's outright hopeless. The 60 hits, like really, because you have both the small dragons and the breath weapon coming for you and you would have to get 60 hits. It's like, would consider that pretty much outright impossible. Alright, nice. 3.5, slightly over kilogram bull trout. $57, so certainly a keeper. That fish also. So let's change fishery. We could go ice fishing on the same lake, but let's rather maybe try ice fishing on the Lake Baikal. It has been a while again. There were some really big fish there. Doesn't surprise me that someone has done that certainly that you can do it with the daggers. It's probably not impossible in the real sense, but it's incredibly hard. 60 hits while dodging both the small dragons and the breath weapon. Hello there, Kisu. Great to see you. We were just talking about how hard the Dragon Slayer is to finish. Do remember you also said in the Arganoid Addict stream that it's a cursed game. Pretty much, it's really hard. Though you can apparently do the 60 hits with the dagger, but would expect that to be really difficult to pull off still. But yes, it's not impossible in that respect. Alright, that doesn't surprise this one, that better controls help a lot. That's already an achievement also. How has Kisu's weekend been this far? Hopefully better than last night. Alright, let's go for some ice fishing on Lake Baikal next. Alright, we have loaded level. No rod, reel or line. No, we need to choose the alright, and let's go and drill a hole in the ice with the auger. So let's check the map first where to go. The Lake Baikal is really beautiful in this game, as you get the kind of clear azure colored sea ice. It's quite nice. Let's go directly to point 4. There we go. And then we need to of course purchase some bait. We do have a single red worm apparently remaining. Let's go even fancy and use wax worm if it... Yeah, it works for Baikal Omul and others, so let's buy even wax worm for like 10. That should be like the premium bait. Let's see if it helps any on Lake Baikal. No problem at all, Kisu. It's great to see you here. So always good if you can join whatever time. No problem at all. That's quite a long work day. Hopefully you are able to relax still also during this weekend. It's quite a bit of work. So let's drill a hole with the auger. There we go. Good to go for fishing. Let's try about 1.5 meters and see if a fish gets interested. The lake Baikal is really beautiful in this game also for ice fishing. Do rather like the snow-free azure. Right, and we have a fish. Let's reel it in. Right, Baikal omul. 1.7 kilograms. $28, so it beats the price of the bait, so we are forward. Alright. Hopefully everything goes well with going live, that there are no issues you have to resolve then. And hopefully indeed also the symptoms from the vaccination recede. It's of course quite, some get quite strong symptoms, which is of course understandable because it's meant to produce immune response. But hopefully you'll feel better soon, our good panther. Right, and then let's keep fishing. Nice Baikal omul came out of the hole in the ice, so let's try for more. As long as we beat the price of the bait, it's good, because the decided to use the kind of premium bait at $9 a piece. So alright, and another fish. Clearly this hole is in a good position. A bit like in Pro Pilkki, it actually matters a lot where you put the hole. This doesn't have the kind of depth map available usually though, like in Pro Pilkki. Alright, a smaller omul. It's still $9, so it's exactly break even with the bait, so still not bad fishing. 2 hours, that's a bit like the estimates on the game boxes. Arkham Horror also claims to think that you can play it in 2 hours. Maybe if you lose immediately. Yeah, that's kind of like an estimate like they have on game boxes, that Arkham Horror lasts 2 hours. It's always difficult to, of course, estimate that kind of things. A lot both with technology and with gaming, because after all you don't know how fast the players actually are, so it's always very varying. Alright, and another fish please. Let's see. The ice fishing has a bit different dynamic, because you're mostly waiting with your bait in the water. And we have a customer. And also a pretty feisty one pulled several meters of line before getting reeled in. Alright, that was surprisingly a lot of fighting for, again, $9 fish, so we beat the price of the bait once again, so not bad fishing at all. Yeah, I do also remember did a full day of work with second vaccination symptoms. It was kind of interesting day. Good to hear that you got the big go-live out of the way also. So, oh, Luna boob. Oh, boob back, Kisu. There we go. Oh. And yes, let's get some more fish from the hole in the ice. Hopefully a bit bigger ones, because we are exactly just beating the price of the bait. So it would be nice to catch a little bit bigger fish. Alright, would consider this hole very successful. Haven't had this much luck on paikal usually with the ice fishing. Alright, $12, so we beat the price of the bait and are making at least a bit of profit. Pretty good availability of paikal omul clearly on this location. So let's lower the bait again. Let's try 2 meters depth and see whether that affects fishing positively or negatively. Yeah, we do still have six baits, so let's use up those and then consider what to go for next after that. Let's see if 2 meters brings something at least. Also got interested in 2 meters. Alright, 1.5 kilogram omul. Very nice. $24, so let's try the 2 meters again. Alright, and another fish. Some fighting again, but right. $11, 680 gram omul, so again not bad at all. We still have four bait left, so let's fish those first, and then see about maybe moving to a different fishery again, like a bit higher level one, as we have again money to buy maybe more equipment also, as we have over $1,000, so we can get a bit more equipment and should be able to tackle the higher level fisheries maybe a bit better. Right, and this fish is fighting a bit more, so let's see what happens. Needed to upgrade the equipment once for ice fishing at the Lake Baikal, because had like some fish that would break the whole thing repeatedly, so needed to upgrade equipment. 2 kilogram omul is already $32, so that's very nice catch for Baikal. And we still have a couple of baits, so let's keep doing the 2 meters depth. Alright, and another a bit stronger fish also bends the equipment quite a bit and actually pulls a lot of line out, so interesting to see, is this also a bit bigger omul or something else. Pulled a lot of line out, so takes a while to reel in also. Asp, alright, not a common fish, fought quite a bit but not very valuable. Interesting fish though, haven't caught an asp too many times at all, not a common fish. And we do still have some bait left, so let's keep going. Maybe hit even a bit deeper. Let's try 2.5 meters also and see how that affects fishing. It's interesting to know like which layer of water would be best at Lake Baikal, as in general the Lake Baikal has been an easy one. Also during the summer it's a bit like sea fishing that haven't usually caught much at all in the summer map of Lake Baikal. It's kind of not easy fishery at all. Also first time ever caught a catfish at St. Zenos Lakes, which is also uncommon comparatively. Used a marshmallow actually as a bait for the catfish, so that was also pretty interesting. Like there are quite a few different types of bait in the game. The marshmallow works actually pretty well for channel catfish. Right, that's again almost a kilogram omul, so $15. Very nice. We do still have one bait left, so let's go for that and then finish ice fishing here for today and move to a different fishery again. 2.6 meters, so tried a bit different depths like 1.5, 2 and 2.5, so right, and something that's very convincing catch. New record for bleak. We haven't ever caught a bleak 20 grams, so that's like record breaking fish, so don't you laugh. Don't you dare laugh. That's record breaking because it's the first of its kind we have ever caught, but it's like $3 or release considering the size of the fish. Let's release it for good luck. Big fish, real big fish. Yeah, why you so small? Right, Cutlery, thank you for coming along and joining for fishing. So see you. It was great that you joined for some fishing. Yes, small. Why you so small? As I remember the kind of picture where there's a large lion and nuzzles at a small lion, and why you so small? That could be also asked with the fish, like why you so small? Very good. From small fish, let's move to a different fishery. This is the Louisiana Bayou, which is kind of not very easy to catch anything at this far. The river looks very elegant. It's also difficult. It has very different kind of fish like zander, barbel, common nase, then trout. Haven't ever gotten much in the river either. Then we have the Piñas Bay, which is already supposed to have the kind of big things, swordfish, marlin, mahi, barracuda, whatever, like really rainbow runner, roosterfish, really kind of super fish. Then we have the ocean part, which also has marlins, but never really caught much yet at these two. Then there is the Canadian lake. It has trouts and then walleye, sauger, yellow birds. This is DLC lake, so you get license for $1. Let's try the Moraine Lake. Haven't been here before, so interesting to see a new lake in this stream. DLC lake, so the license doesn't cost much, so we have more money for equipment. As the earlier ones had licenses like up to spot to 1,500, 2,000, so was a considerable money sink to get the licenses earlier on. Have been playing this game already for a good while, like almost 20 streams, so this is one of the like games have streamed a lot in addition to Darkest Dungeon and a few other games, so this looks very nice and calm. With manual boats and everything, so we can go boating or fish from here on the pier. Let's check the map first. So we have quite a few spots. This is kind of like a glacier lake on the mountains, and we do have quite a few spots along the shore. So it has walleye, sauger, yellow perch and trouts, plenty of trouts and pike. So we then need to see what kind of equipment would be best here. So we can of course go the usual float and bait, or do rather like also lure. Let's try with lure. It's always interesting, like let's use traditional like hard lure and see what we have. Mostly trout, bass. This would be even for marlin, but never tried like, but never caught a marlin with these this far. This lake has mostly trout and then a few other fish. So here's our set for. So this works mostly with marlin, perch, pike. So we could try it also here in that respect. It doesn't really work apparently for trout. It's interesting to see. Let's try actually this set directly here. So let's see if we catch a perch or a pike with that. Very nice looking water, kind of glacier lake, a bit like weather threatens a bit of rain maybe even, and again like 28 degrees, very warm. Alright, let's cast and see how our lure works here. So now we reel the lure in so it moves in the water and see if the fish get interested. The water isn't very clear either, so let's see if this is like a workable means of fishing here. So let's keep casting a few times and see if we get any attention at all, and if not, then we most probably should change the method. So let's keep going and see if a couple more casts, and if no fish takes on the challenge, then we may try like traditional bait and see what what takes that up. Haven't yet had much with the hard lure really anywhere compared to float and bait. So it's kind of not totally certain how well the hard lure in general works. It's kind of not the most successful means of fishing often this far, so let's give a couple more tries to the hard lure, and if no fish takes us up, then we probably should try next float and bait. Of course, little experience yet on this fishery, so interesting to see what kind of fishing method gives results here. Of course, we could also try fly, but let's start with the other means, because we did some fly fishing already earlier before the ice fishing session. So let's for now give this still a couple of shots, but this far it really hasn't been doing much for us, admittedly. The hard lure, haven't actually ever yet caught a fish with these. Kind of would think that they work, because you especially can buy them, but it has been quite silent with this far. So let's get the lure moving, maybe a bit more stop and go, so a bit lower speed on it. There's also some apparently very low water in that part, because we get the ground indication that when at rest the lure is touching ground at times here, so not very deep water in that spot, it appears. Coming here though, it does deepen, so. And there was even a fish like bouncing around, like the fish is swimming towards us, but not caring for the lure, so clearly not the best result ever. Like the fish swims to troll us most probably. What are you trying with that thing? Like, would you think that I would get fooled? The fish thinks most probably. Alright, let's have one more go with the hard lure and then try traditional float and bait next to see what gives us results in this fishery. Very nice mountain landscape though. Alright, now we have a fish, and it's a pretty aggressive one. Alright, that was aggressive start, but now we are actually gaining a bit on the fish. Still resisting quite strong. This will be interesting. What are we going to catch? Walleye. Alright. That's something new for us altogether. Interesting shaped fish with kind of bit of a very kind of beak-like shape. Very hydrodynamic probably. And $42 for 2.7 kilograms practically. Interesting fish. Altogether new fish. Haven't ever caught one in this game this far. So actually now the hard lure did something for us. So earlier critique that haven't ever caught anything with that withdrawn. So let's try at least one cast more with the hard lure. Kind of slow start, not much happened, but then we even had an interested fish. interesting fish again, like a new one, like the last time played caught the channel catfish and now caught the walleye, kind of new kinds of fish. Fish in the game, there are quite a few types of fish in that respect. Alright, a fish even jumped out of the water just to spite us most probably, like. The fish is close. And actually the fish that jumped also caught. So that was really nice dynamic behavior. The fish jumps and swims visibly and then actually bites onto our lure. That was really nice. Nice emergent behavior that actually the game is able to generate that kind of overall sequence, that the fish happens to roam into the area with the lure and notice it after jumping. Very nice. Very nice. This game is among the better fishing simulators in that respect, for sure, that the fish actually behave somewhat interestingly, unlike in some games which just like generate a probability field of catching fish once you insert a fishing implement. Right, that's a big fish. We actually need the fishing net, so that didn't go very well. While moving the fishing net, the fish just left. Oh well. Like, we can... The fish still roams there, so... The fish left really fast though, like, just started moving the fishing net and immediately the fish left. So it was a pretty big fish because we needed the fishing net. Very interesting. Alright, not immediately catching again, but that was very interesting fishing experience overall. Alright, we have done 1 solid hour of fishing. So let's still cast with this, as it has now started actually getting us some action with the hard lure. Was already thinking like that it does nothing, but it certainly does much more than nothing. Very nice fishery also. It has pretty big fish and they are quite dynamic. This far really liking this fishery. Right, not yet more. Yeah, it would be pretty nice view also for a swim. Certainly, it's a very nice lake. Would say, looks wise, and also this far fishing wise, it has been very interesting fishery. So do like this map, certainly worth the DLC. Actually do have pretty much all the DLC for this game. Bought it as a bundle with all the DLC. They are no longer upgrading this game. They like advertise to try our new game, the Moraine Lake, but they haven't actually apparently published it. Tried to buy it recently, but it was apparently still under development, so it's kind of advertising it on the starting screen is somewhat overstatement, because the Moraine Lake is not yet actually out. It tries to include some kind of crime mystery plot elements, so you can only just fish or try to solve a crime mystery around the lake. So it's kind of like unsure if it's as interesting, because actually one interest with the fishing simulator, at least for this one, is exactly that it's a fishing simulator and doesn't try anything else. So in that respect also, of course. Right, let's cast out again and see for a few casts if we can again entice some interest before maybe trying a different fishing method, as we had a couple of good fights and almost caught also a pretty big fish, but needed to use the fishing net even faster, it seems. Alright, not... Yeah, the Panther Plus is also here. Yes. Loch Ness mystery. Yeah, the answer if the game has like some kind of mystery. Probably really big fish at least or such, but answer if it has like mystery like cryptids outright, but it at least has like probably really big fish that have small chances of spawning. Like for example the St. Zenos Lake description advertises 40+ kilogram carps, but haven't ever even come close, like 5 kilograms maybe, so there are really big fish out there. Alright, not much happened again, so let's try classical float and bait next and buy some bait. This is the least quite fit for trout. Doesn't really work for pike or perch, but then we have cut bait. Natural egg, which is also quite specialized. Waxworm works for quite a few fish. Let's try a few of those. Expensive, but let's see how it goes with normal float and bait. So there we go, and then we watch the float for any activity. At least not happening much immediately. Clearly not an easy fishery either. Alright, Briareus, good night for you, and thank you for joining us for some nice fishing tonight. Good night. Right, there was a fish, but we were just waving, so we didn't strike. Let's try again. But something was interested, so that's good to know. Fish make it away when you concentrate on bunnies, it seems. A bit windy here, like 10 meters per second wind also. And 30 degrees, it's always really warm in this game, it seems, except ice fishing. Alright, now we do have a fish. Not very big one apparently, as we do not have too much of fight going on. Let's see what we get. Tiger trout. That's a new fish for us. Nice pattern on it for sure. $18 for 1 kilogram, new record, as it's a new fish for us, so certainly a keeper. Nice, new fish. Not bad at all. So let's go for another with the float and bait. So let's wait and see whether we have any interest. At least not in this spot very well, apparently, as not much is happening. And we have bait even for a couple of times. Have tried, like, ran out of bait and would just keep waiting. Alright, let's remove that from the water and actually try the novelty of a boat. For some nice paddling on the lake. This is actually really calm, nice way to go about, because usually you have the motorboat with sonar. Here you have no sonar and certainly no motor. You're actually paddling on the lake with the canoe, so it's actually a really elegant way to move. No noise, no fumes, very eco. Nice. It's quite slow to paddle though, like it realistically is. Of course, it's not very fast to paddle around the lake. Right, let's see, we are some way. Actually, that's the pier apparently, so getting a bit misty. Let's paddle a bit more, so we are in a different spot on the lake. Because the lake appears quite long, so it's not like we could cast the whole length of the lake, not by far. So there should be different fish possibilities on the other end of the lake for some good boating. Really nice boating with the skunk. Has Kisu, for example, or has anyone else on the channel been boating this way, like with the canoe, actually paddling on a lake or such? Looks like there's actually a cave over there. Let's see. Quite a distance though. More interested in the fishing, so let's actually try here. This is interesting, like standing on the boat. Ah, nice, very nice. So you sometimes paddle at the summer house. That's really nice. Let's see if we catch anything here. Yes, there's something, and it's actually fighting a bit even, so tiger trout, pretty nice pattern. A bit like a leopard even more probably than a tiger. It has the kind of rosettes. Very nice. New record for tiger trout. $24. Not bad at all. Let's keep going and see, like it appears there's a cave there, so it's interesting out of curiosity to see And we can also cast from this end of the lake in the other direction. With longer paddling trip. Right, that was a big fish following along. Very nice. Or is that just a trick of the light on shapes of the rock? Apparently it looked very much like a rectangular cave from further away, like that there would be some kind of entrance. It's actually related to the shape of the rock once you get closer. Interesting. A bit misty on the lake also. Quite big lake. We are not even yet on the other end, so let's keep paddling a bit more and then try casting towards the other direction from here. Alright, let's start fishing again from here. Now we can cast towards the other end of the lake. You couldn't ever get into this position directly. Alright, let's see how we do. Yeah, the 10 meter second wind is, as noted earlier, on the shore. It's quite windy. This isn't totally realistic weather-wise, like 10 meters second. That's already pretty good amount of wind. So indeed, it would be not probably most comfortable on the lake. Also the mist would probably dissipate at like 10 meters second, so the weather is not totally realistic. It tends to show mostly the trees often move a bit, but right, and there's a fish. It tends to not be really totally realistic in terms of how the water would react and how it would be to be on the water on that windy weather, so in that respect it's not totally realistic. Right, interesting fish. It's actually thrashing quite a bit. Sauger. Very nice pattern, interesting. Never gotten this fish either, so again a new record and a new fish. Very nice fishing today. Really stylish fish also with the kind of large spots. Alright, let's cast again from here. There we go, and let's see if any fish takes up the offer. Yeah, that was a nice fish, the new one. a bit more silent with this cast for now. And just when said that, we have a customer. It seems pretty often, humorously speaking, that like exactly when say that do not yet have any action, it immediately turns out to be wrong. Right, a bit of pull. Let's see what we... Right, that's a very stylish fish again. Golden trout, 1 kilogram. Really nice looking fish. Golden trout certainly lives up to its name. Stylish and nice red belly also. Really nice fish. $16, new record. It's certainly a new record. Haven't ever seen that before. So very nice, interesting fish from this lake this far. Let's cast again. We still have some bait. Once we finish the bait, going to try still fly fishing also on this fishery. So probably going to stream a bit longer than the usual 1.5 hours, as this fishery is very nice. So going to test also fly fishing still tonight on this fishery before calling it a night fishing wise. So we are still getting at least some more fishing tonight, coming up to the usual 1.5 hours, but we are going for a bit more to also finish this set of bait here and then try fly fishing on this lake. So let's keep fishing. Alright, pre-match your strike, so let's try again. And again we wait for some activity with the float. Yes, we have a fish. Let's see how we can reel it in. There's some tension. There was a bit of trussing even, but this seems to be moderately easy to reel in this far. Can already see from the color that we might be getting another golden trout, which would be of course nice. No, it's another sauger, which is also kind of a bit golden on the upper part, so the observation of color on the lake was right. $10, not bad. It beats the price of the bait. Alright, we ran out of bait, so let's study fly fishing possibilities here next. So this fly with quite a few trout. And bass, including tiger trout, golden trout. Let's try with this fly. As we looked in the beginning, like it's pretty insect-like with the body and wings and all. Pretty nice. You can have like also 3D rotations of the flies for like very detailed fishing. Alright, let's try the fly. There we go. And cast. And let's start. Sätten ante ritmon. Keep the rhythm. Right, and we have a customer. And it's a pretty big one. Still pulling away all together, so this is going to be a fight proper. Alright, starting to get a bit of purchase on the fish. Still difficult. This is going to be something pretty big. Golden trout. Actually only almost 2 kilograms. Pretty big fighter, I would say, considering the fight. So it wasn't very big, but it's still $30 and a new record. So it's a really nice fish. A bit surprising fighter, would even say. It was really like big fish level fighting. With that result, certainly going to try a few fly fishing casts more here to finish the day with. This fishery was certainly worth the DLC. It has been really nice this far. Even with the canoeing. Right, and another fish, and again quite feisty. Clearly this far most fish the fly has brought easily quickest this far. Really tough like. The rod is really bending. This is proper fighting, have to say. Really tough fish. This fish really fights back. Alright, that's a big brook trout. 4.65 kilograms, new record. Very stylish pattern, red belly. Quite thick one already. Wow, very nice catch. $72 too. Very nice fly fishing this far. Really been enjoying, so let's try a few more casts for sure. Fly fishing has proven to be this far the best one also here, having tried the solid lure and gotten some fish with the bait, but easily fly fishing this far, like a couple of casts and a couple of great fish. So at least this far the fly fishing has turned out to be really good. The wind has abated now, actually 4.1 meters per second only. Alright, that cast didn't yet produce a result, but let's try again. Yeah, fly fishing has this far been very successful, but of course not every cast will produce a result as is realistic. Alright, let's change direction a little and keep trying. Not much action yet on these couple of latest casts. Alright. Let's see what we can still accomplish with the fly here for some casts. And keep reeling slash pulling the fly in to keep it moving and see if fish strike. Right, and we have a fish. Also a pretty tough one, still pulling away. So let's try and reel it in. Again, pretty tough fighter, this fish. Alright, another big brook trout. 2.89 kilograms, $45. Not a record, but a very nice fish. Let's cast again with the fly fishing. Very nice fish this far, and a bit more probably at least than the previous two means of fishing tested do think. Right, this cast didn't do too much. Another cast then. This far the fly has given several really Alright, that cast was a little bit crooked. Doesn't matter, let's anyway try. Not quite straight cast, went quite a bit to the left. Alright, not much luck that cast. Now that went quite straight in turn, fortunately. 50 meters again, so a nice strong cast to start from. And we have a fish. Again a pretty strong one. Strong. Golden trout. That's quite a fighter for half a kilogram. $8, so almost beats the price of the bait. Pretty nice looking fish and surprisingly feisty for like half a kilogram, considering what kind of tension it gives. Right, we still can do some more. Let's cast after this one a couple of times more and then start seeing who we can raid and start finishing the night. But let's do a couple of casts more after this one. Been really nice fishing session especially on this lake. Alright, let's have the couple more casts here still. So first of two nice straight cast. And then just keep the rhythm and get the fly back in. Alright, not much happened with that cast, so let's take a final one for tonight. Mostly straight good cast over 50 meters, so let's start pulling it in. and the fly moves. Let's see if a fish is humored to strike. Alright, and still pulling it in. Alright, no catch. Let's try one more and then call it a night and see what we can raid. Nice straight cast again. Over 60 meters, that's one of the strongest casts to remember seeing from oneself. Not bad at all. Alright, no catch on this cast, so let's check who we can raid and finish for today gradually here. We do have pretty good amount of viewers, so actually let's indeed finish gradually and do a couple of casts in the opposite direction still, so we get a bit more fishing style here, and maybe get up to, we'll see, maybe get up to 2 hours. Yes, do think we can do that, so let's fill 2 hours here with such a nice viewership. Of course, happy to provide a bit more fishing, and then we'll call it a night. So let's go up to 2 hours of fishing, different direction. Let's see if the fly gets any victims in this direction. Quite windy on the woods. 13.5 wouldn't be out on the lake in a very small boat with 13.5 meters per second. The trees react, but the water doesn't really. It would be much more rough water. The trees do react, and somewhat realistic looking even. Right. And another cast. Right, that went a little spiraling, but actually not too bad. We can still have a pull on it. Not the straightest cast ever, spirals into the right. Let's try the other direction again. and keep going with the fly. Not yet much result on that cast either. More luck in that respect would be of course nice, but let's keep going. A nice straight cast and not spiraling out of control. Alright, seems that we are not yet getting any ichthyological attention with that cast either. Closing slowly up to the 2 hours. Let's fill 2 hours for fun and keep fly fishing until 10. Would be interesting to catch something more for sure. And slowly drawing the fly closer also. Alright, that finishes again. One cast. Let's try again a few with the float to finish with. We can even use a dragonfly as a bait. $10. Let's see if these do anything. Let's buy a couple and try. Yeah, it's a interesting. It indeed is a dragonfly. Let's see how the dragonfly fares as a bait. Does it sink? So it's, yeah, underwater. Interesting. It looks almost like a fly fishing fly, but it actually goes underwater with the float. So it's kind of interesting choice of bait. Certainly like the complete insect, and it's $10 a piece. So let's see if we get any return on our investment on the dragonfly, which is pretty big bait already. So you are looking for a fish that can actually consume the dragonfly fell. So it's like not a really small fish at least, which you are looking for with that kind of a bait. Let's see if our special bait generates any attention. not very much interest, all things considered. $10 bait and absolutely nothing is happening currently. Fancy bait for sure, but it's kind of not doing what you would expect. Let's cast it out again. A bit different direction at distance, and let's see. Alright, and wait again, like does our dragonfly still get any interest? Kind of slow going considering the price of the bait. Either it's not very interesting to the fish here despite the list, or it simply doesn't work well this way, uncertain which, but kind of would expect more nibbly fish for the dragonfly. Not very interesting bait this far, at least. Uncertain whether it's up to the bait or the fish or this one, but clearly the dragonfly is kind of not yet convincingly useful bait, interestingly. Let's reel it a bit closer, like. $15 meters or so for distance. Alright, it's now at 12 meters from us. Let's see if there is more bite at that position, or is the dragonfly simply not somehow fitting for fishing operations here. Alright, and we have 2 hours full and nothing is biting the dragonfly, so going to call it quits in that respect and sell the things, even the one used. And with that, though it looks fancy in 3D view, it certainly didn't get us any fish, at least during that try. There it spins. So let's finish here. And this one, thank you all for joining tonight for some good fishing, and if there are any new ones who like this kind of gaming and would like to watch, also again feel free to follow so you know when this one is going live. There's also an approximate schedule, typically try to follow it at least day-to-day basis, and in some cases also the starting time holds within plus minus half an hour. So if alright, good night Kisu, and thank everyone for joining us tonight, and let's see who we can raid to finish properly. It would seem Bergwolf and Rayleigh are both live. Let's see if Bergwolf is still live. He always of course deserves a raid. Let's see. Berg was at least having some, when earlier watched Berg's stream, he was having some cider earlier, so Berg should be. Yeah, it seems Berg is still live and with some disco lights, so let's go for Berg's disco. Probably the cider has worked for our good wolf. So thank you once again, and we'll see tomorrow.